Hi parents, it's Coach Katie with Aqua Lady Swim Lessons, and I wanted to come on here briefly and talk about the dangers of puddle jumpers. I know probably a lot of you use puddle jumpers with your child when they go to a pool. I wanted to just come on here and let you know the dangers of a puddle jumper. There are several things. The first one that I want to talk to you about is the false sense of security for not only the child, but the parent. Sometimes there are times that I've seen in person where I would go to, let's say on vacation, or I would go to a public pool, and I would see a child with a puddle jumper on, and the child would get in the water, and there is no parent in sight near them watching them. Why that happens, I think, is because the parent thinks that because the child has a puddle jumper on, that they're safe. And they think, as a parent, I don't need to watch my child because the child's got a puddle jumper on, they'll be fine. And that is very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. I've seen it so many times, and every time I see it, it makes me cringe. Because a parent should always be watching their child, whether they have a puddle jumper on or not. Always. Always. And we have to be very cautious and understand that drowning happens very fast. It's not splashing. It's silent and quick. I've seen the child get into trouble. I actually had to save a child. I was actually doing a class with one child. And in the middle of my class teaching this child, I see this other child who is not in my class in a pool with no parent. No parent is around. No one is watching him. He does not have a puddle jumper on. And all the other customers, all the other people at the pool were trying to find the parents of this little boy because he's by himself in a pool and he's only probably 4 or 5. And I told myself, as I'm teaching this child over here, that I need to keep my eye on this child who's not even in my class, who is by himself. He's probably only 4 or 5 years old with no parent watching. And I said, okay, in case that child gets into trouble, I'm going to get to where I can see him so that if he gets into trouble, I can help. Sure enough, parents talk to him briefly. They walk away with their little one. I'm in the middle of my class. I hear another person in the pool, a patron, say, "Are you okay?" I turn around. I'm holding the child I'm working with. I look up, and a little boy has gotten in the middle of the pool and is bobbing up and down with his face underwater. He could not get to his back. He could not fully hold his breath appropriately. He couldn't get back to a wall and propel himself. He was in the middle of a pool by himself. So I went over there and helped pick him up and took him to the wall. He was coughing, and the parents had no clue that their child almost died because they weren't even paying attention. So I wanted to share that story because it has actually happened before, where I have actually been at a community pool teaching my own class, and a child who was not in my class, who was not even getting classes or anything, got into trouble because the parents were not paying attention. No one was supervising him. And it scared me. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, some parents not understand how quickly things can happen? And it just, it opened my eyes even more to the fact that parents need more education on safety in pools for children. Like, it just was so sad to see that happen, and for that child to be put into a very traumatic state. He was terrified. And thank God I was there. Like, God placed me there at the perfect time for me to save that child. And I'm so glad that I was able to save that child. And I just want to come on here and just stress to you as a parent that it's so important to watch your children. So important. And the other thing with the puddle jumper for the child is the false security for the child is if they always have a puddle jumper on, They're going to think that it's okay to get in without mommy and daddy, one. Two, if they get away from you and they get to a pool without a puddle jumper on, what are they going to do? They're going to jump in because they think that it'll keep, that they'll be in this position and their head will be up. But if they don't have a puddle jumper on, they're going to get into a very dangerous situation. And so it gives them a false sense of security that they're okay. The other thing that is also important is when a child is wearing a puddle jumper, what position are they in? This position. That is also the drowning position. So if they don't know how to hold their breath, if they don't know how to get to their back, if they don't know how to roll over, if they don't know how to grab a wall, if they don't know how to save themselves, they're also going to get into a dangerous situation. That's also going to cause them to be in a dangerous situation. So that's why I don't like puddle jumpers. I don't recommend it. What I do recommend is that you get swim lessons for your child and for yourself if you don't know how to swim. The other thing is really making sure that you work on it with your child when you go to a pool. So if they have swim classes, that's wonderful. They should be doing that. Second thing, when you go to a pool with your child, whether you go on vacation or you go to your community pool, I would get in the water and work with your child on what they've been doing in classes. So remember with Miss Katie how we talked about floating on our back? Let's work on that. Because then you're helping them become safe too by working with them yourself. And if you have questions about how to work with your child when you go to a pool, I can freely give you that information. I have no problem with that at all, because I want your child to be safe all the time. And it is so important for a child to learn to swim. So important. So I just wanted to come on and talk about puddle jumpers and the dangers of it. The other thing that I want to say is enroll your child in swim classes as early as you can, because the sooner they start learning, the sooner they can learn the fundamentals of swimming, and they'll learn to be safe in a pool and in water in general. So it is so important. It's so important. And I want everyone to know, even if you're not doing classes with me, I want every parent to know, put your child in classes, please, because it will save them. It will help them so that if they ever, heaven forbid, get into a situation, they can save themselves. One. Two, even if your child is a wonderful, great swimmer, even an Olympian should not swim alone. Everyone should be supervised. Everyone, because anything can happen. You could have a heart attack. If a child has epilepsy, anything. It doesn't just have to be that they get into a dangerous situation because they can't swim. It's also, you could have a child that knows how to swim and they have a medical emergency. That too can happen. Anything can happen. I don't even swim by myself. And I'm an adult. I don't. I have someone watch me. So if I get in my parents' pool, I have someone out here with me, because an individual, no matter any age, should not be swimming by themselves. They should always have someone around. And if there's no lifeguard there, you need to at least have an adult there that can watch you. And that's with anybody. And I've had to save adults too that did not know how to swim. So everyone needs to learn how to swim, and anyone can start at any age. Any age. I've taught some people that were in their 60s that didn't know how to swim, and they learned. Anyone can learn, and you are very capable of learning how to swim, and your child should be safe all the time. So I just wanted to come in here and talk about that. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. You can text me, you can email me, you could call me if you want to. If I don't have a class, I will answer, and I will get back to you. I'll freely give you that information if you would like, because I want your child to be safe, and I want you to be safe, and I want everyone to be safe around a pool. Children with special needs as well, they're very drawn to water. It's very sensory seeking to jump into a pool. They also need classes. Every person needs classes. So it's just very important. Just let me know if you have any questions, and I'm happy to help. Thank you, and have a great day, and stay safe.